Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Today's video, we're going to be going over some PUBG Season 12 leaks, some new hiring done by Krafton for presumably what's going to be PUBG 2 for PC. And then I also wanted to show you a tweet that showed off some features of a really old popular game that somehow still manages to do this better than PUBG. Let's take a look. All right, so first up, let's go to my boy Player IGN's Twitter page. You guys know him in the PUBG community. He used to make a lot of videos on PUBG leaks. He's taken a step back from doing videos, but still is releasing information via his Twitter, his Patreon, and maybe even working with other buddies to kind of do stuff behind the scenes. So in one of his recent tweets, he showed that PUBG, or Krafton, who owns PUBG, is hiring 700 employees for a new dark fantasy single-player RPG game that will support PS5 and Xbox Series X. He said it sounds a lot like Dark Souls. And if you go to the link, it'll show the actual the recruitment page with what they're looking for, what kind of stuff's gonna, like qualifications, what stuff they're going to be working on. And I don't know, I've never been a big MMO RPG fan. Like, I guess I've really enjoyed Zelda. That's like the most in-depth RPG I've really ever played and enjoyed. But curious to hear what you guys' thoughts would be on that if you're into RPGs and MMOs like that. And if we go over here for the Fallout tweet, this is for the closed beta of Ilon, which is the MMO RPG that we just talked about, that apparently is going on right now. The announcement was supposed to be in May, but due to COVID, it got pushed back. So I don't know if people are actually playing it yet or not. But this tweet was out at 4:47 in the morning. Player IGN is always grinding. Then he had another Fallout tweet and said there's 4 unannounced projects being made by Krafton via the job listings we just talked about. One of them is a third-person looter shooter. One is a dark player fantasy RPG, the one we just talked about. One is a 2D detective mobile game. And then a new PUBG open world third-person / first-person game that might be relating to PUBG 2. Kind of difficult to say. Now, the reason why I say that that's probably PUBG 2 is because in an earlier tweet, he talked about a universal open world TPS / FPS game for PC and console, probably a PUBG 2 job list. And if you click the link, it's obviously in Korean, but it'll bring you to the job listing. So you can read about what they're looking for, what they're hiring for, that kind of stuff. Now into Season 12 leaks and news. So we got a couple things here. So there's possible PUBG PCS4 skins. And by possible, I mean, unless this is just a really good artist, this looks a lot like PUBG to me. What's interesting to me here is if you notice, this is actually the map Haven, the city map that is usually nighttime only. So this is a daytime vibe of Haven. And you can see that we've got some new like camo print stuff for the PCS. This is the Continental series where the pros play, and this is an SKS skin. We have a modified vest, a level 3 vest with a camo skin. If you remember, Season 9 brought us our first modified camo vest for level 2. This is a level 3 modified vest. Looks pretty cool. That looks to be an MP5K. No, it's an ump maybe. It's an ump in his hands. An AK back here, a butt pan, and of course like the usual clothing, backpack, that sort of stuff. Maybe even, I guess that motorcycle is different too. So that's pretty cool. But again, the daytime Haven is kind of what's got me interested, because like, are they going to bring the map back into rotation with a different lighting style? I don't know. All right, now staying on brand with PUBG Season 12 leaks, we got this newer Twitter account, PUBG Leaks, at PUBG PC Leaks. They've recently started their YouTube channel where they're going over recent leaks and whatnot. I don't know if this has any direct connection with Player IGN from him stepping kind of away from doing videos, or if this is just someone kind of doing their own thing. But inside of this video, they show off some new skins for coming for Season 12. But this is leaked coming for Season 12. Obviously, this is like beta stuff. You can see it's very non-detailed, just very kind of color skin overlay. But we got a VSS. We've got Uzi, Sawed Off, S12K. We've got... let me just let it play. Boom. Here we got the DP28, MP5, QBU, the barrel. And then we've got the M249, M24, crossbow, and a P92 9mm. And is that it for the skins? Yep. And then you can and you can check any of these social medias to stay up to date with PUBG PC leaks and their content they're doing. They also hinted that PUBG Season 12 is going to be called Apocalypse, which would be kind of cool if they did, because we're coming from our pajama theme party that I think a lot of people weren't too hyped about. So this would be, you know, kind of neat to get more into a grounded season pass sort of vibe. Now, looking at PUBG's Twitter page themselves, they haven't released anything new except for the Erangel Bridge updates and, of course, the pajama party. And then if we go to Alex, the PUBG dev, who usually is kind of like PUBG's own leaker of their updates, he hasn't had anything since April 12th, which was about the kill feed update that they were making. So nothing to confirm. Again, take everything with a grain of salt. We don't know for sure what's confirmed and what's coming, but it's a pretty good likelihood that the stuff we're seeing today is going to come in the pipeline. Just a matter of when. All right, now that brings me to an interesting tweet that I saw today. Peter SMK2 tweeted out, "This never gets old, Battlefield 4." And if you guys remember, Battlefield 4 had what's called Levolution. That's so freaking cool. So inside Levolution, that feature they called it, where you could activate certain chain reactions in the game that would alter the play style and the formation and the terrain of the map. So there was like this big tower you could take down. On one of the island maps, you could cause like a hurricane to come through and the big boat would crash the island, giving new places of cover. And I mean, on top of Battlefield, just totally destructible environments. And it really made me think how PUBG is still, to this day, got the red zone as their key feature. And if you remember on Karakin, the map they just took out, they have the black zone in Karakin, which actually had destructible environments. It wasn't dynamic. You know, you couldn't blow it up with a rocket or a grenade, except for the little cutout walls. But the buildings would get destroyed when the black zone rockets would fall down and destroy them, giving new ways to play that particular compound, new cover, the dust and smoke effects, which I thought were really cool. So really hoping to see some new iterations of the black zone into future PUBG maps. But it was just interesting to go back and look at Battlefield 4, which, I mean, what that game came out when did Battlefield 4 come out? Holy light mode, Batman. October, okay, my head's blocking. October 29th, 2013. 8 years ago, or 7.5 years ago, Battlefield 4 came out with, I mean, crazy features. And here we go to this day. You know, the next gen BRs still aren't even topping it. So that gives me hope for Battlefield 6, which we're going to see and hear more about very soon in E3, which would be like in June or something like that. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, share it with a buddy, and subscribe for more PUBG content. I'll have some gameplay videos of my recent tournament winning on Obi-Wan Coyote's solo sweat tournament last night. I won the first game, ended up placing 9th overall. Really fun tournament, a lot of great streamers playing. So go check that out, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.